another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the play did on the last one.
Slot man moves right. To throw on 2nd and 10. Vick. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
From the 29, Hill. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. And the Panthers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick-6 last week. Not a pick-6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
On 1st and 10, Newton. And they've got the hookup. This is Olsen. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. From the red zone now, Newton. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep box.
And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Saints are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. Well, this is just crazy. He's got 3 interceptions, Charles, and we haven't even departed the first half of this ballgame.
I think if you're looking at the stats right now, you're saying, all right, who's the leading receiver? Well, can you flip it around and say that maybe he is and could be for the game the way that things are going right now? I think if it's him, he wants to be on the field at all times.
And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they take this up near the 30 before he's taken down. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now Hill looking to throw on first. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys will take over at the 14-yard line in the red zone.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Touchdown! A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Panthers post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this second quarter.
His kick is
Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Bush trying the middle. And he's got room. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On first down, they stick with Bush. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 51 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs. Right? Touchdown, Saints! A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Saints are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Here you go.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they've got a little under 40 seconds to go if they want to try to put something together here. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They fake the give. Newton. Eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
A very limited time left to get into field goal range before the half, and they tried to get it all. One throw right there.
Go.
Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. He's going to try and go deep again. That's caught at the 25. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. So a touchdown apiece. That's what we have to show at halftime as they head to the locker room. 7-7 our score. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gautin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece. 7-7 our score. This one fielded at the 5. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, the first half, very even. I mean, really, in all facets, this ball game tied, Charles. So as we start the third quarter, curious to see what the second half brings us.
Certainly am. I'm with you on that one. And we all know a lot of coaches from the NFL all the way down to the Pee-wee level. They love to spin it to their teams. Hey, we're starting a brand new, shorter ball game. It's all even. Let's go out and seize it. This is ours.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. To the 36-yard line, stop there.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
From the 36, Hill drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. And able to get this to the 24-yard line. They began the play at the 12. It's also a pickup of 12 for the first down.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
On first down, Hill. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another first down as they call his number again. He's got 15 yards here.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man?
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumbled, recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Fourth down, Hill, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the second half. Extra point right down the middle, and that makes the score 14-7. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. We'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. But Charles, you and I said in intermission, feels like we're set up for a good second half. Well, the other side scored, and now it's up to them to answer. How do they respond here with their first drive of the second half?
Well, bottom line is they just saw the ball go in the end zone against their defense, and they saw what good offense looks like. They believe they've got a good offense as well. Run the best plays you've got to the top performers you have, and try to move that ball down the field for an answering score.
That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They run on first down with Jackson. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
It's a gain of 7.
Now here's Vick. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. They run up the middle with Bush. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. He was able to get away initially on that play, but ultimately not much space to roam.
Great job there by them containing him because you mentioned he got away initially, and how many times does that end up with a guy taking off for 15 or 20 yards? Here, the support was there, and they made the tackle for a loss.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good, and this will remain a 1-touchdown game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Charles, still a 1-possession game. Remember, it could have been 2 after they opted to go for it on 4th down in their own territory. Didn't get it, but their defense holds strong, and so this is a huge possession coming up here.
You're certainly right about that, partner. And a lot of people look at them going for it on 4th down as a failure when they didn't get it. But there's also their way of saying, hey, we have confidence in our defense because they went out and held them. Got the ball right back for them. So, nice stand for them. Momentum can swing back to their side if they have a good drive here.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a 2-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught, and the gamble pays off. They get the first. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
Now a handoff inside, it's Jackson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about his desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame whooping has turned into results.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Off play action. Newton. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. Desperation time. Newton, 4th down. And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Panthers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this 4th quarter. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this 4th quarter to try to grab that lead back. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. That's a corner that got in there for the sack. Dante Jackson. But when you see a quarterback retreating away from the line of scrimmage toward the other goal line like that, usually doesn't end well.
You're exactly right about that. Normally, if they're moving from side to side, they've got a chance maybe to get back upfield. He was trying to shake defenders and extend the play, but it doesn't work out very well for them at all. You need those extra yards on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Now you're digging a hole for your offense.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. Hill on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Bush. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
And partner, in a tie game in the 4th quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. This is Bush. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth.
Important extra point up and through. And the lead is now 21-14.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now Michael Vick. Open man, completes it to Claypool. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Vick. And Olsen over the middle. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Vick. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Some coaches like to take the shorter, more reliable yardage, and some, they like to go for the big shot. No fear of risking a deep ball there, but it wasn't enough to get him the completion.
Vick to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
With that incompletion, reality is staring them right in the face. This entire game is down to the next snap.
Desperation time. Vick on 4th down. That's to his running back, complete. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The Panthers going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
20. Go.
Now Newton. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
Yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for two.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now?
Well, win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
And now they're going to go for two and a possible win as this crowd rises to make things difficult. Throwing is Newton. And they do not get it. It's incomplete. They went for the win, and the big gamble does not pay off. So with 13 on the clock, it's time for an onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
So this one, a victory here for New Orleans, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot. But now, it's about taking the ball away, taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for the Saints, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Carolina, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville.